So if everyone that you're competing against, your teammates, your opponents, and they're all working out every single day, they're working smart, what's the difference? What are you going to do that's going to separate you from that pack? So in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about 5 different untapped tools that you guys can be using as basketball players and even just humans in general to get that extra edge and to level up and improve faster than everybody else. So the first tool is journaling. Now this is very simple, but again, easier said than done. This is great for stress management, this is great for confidence, and this is great for just overall problem solving ability as a player. So in terms of stress management, if you guys are feeling super nervous for a game, journaling and writing about where that stress or that anxiety is coming from and then reframing it can be a great option for you guys. And I also love this for building confidence. Confidence is your ability or your belief in your ability as a player. So the more that you can reaffirm that belief in your ability, the more confident you're going to become. And it's not something that just happens or some players just have. It's something you need to build. And I think journaling is a great way to kind of build that confidence, especially if you guys do it consistently. And the other thing this can be great for is problem solving, right? If you're having trouble with a certain skill or there's certain situations in a game that you can't quite seem to grasp or excel in, you can take to your journal, you can write, where am I struggling? Why am I struggling? Kind of re-go through that problem in your head and just give you guys another opportunity to analyze that problem and try to find solutions and just work through them. So overall, I think this can be great for all of those. Now, in terms of how we're going to apply it, all of these 5 points that I'm going to talk about is actually a free bonus that I give on my shooting course and then my finishing course that I'm going to be dropping. So I'm going to link it below if you guys want resources for journaling and all the other tools that we're going to be talking about. So tool number 2 is visualization. This is one of my favorite ones, and I think this is great for your confidence, but especially for actually building your skills. So when we visualize something in our mind, especially when we're activating all of our senses, all of our emotions, we're actually firing the same neurons in our brain, in our body, that we would be if we were actually executing that task. So quite literally, we're able to work on a skill by just visualizing it and seeing ourselves rep it out in our own head. Now, that's not to say that you guys don't need to actually put the work in on the court. You absolutely do. But if you want to see your skill build quicker, you want to see that improvement faster, this is something that you guys can do without really expending any extra energy. And then this is also great for confidence because if you're struggling in certain situations, you guys can visualize yourself in those situations and visualize how you're going to succeed in that. And the more that you see yourself succeeding in those situations, the greater that belief in your ability, like we talked about in that first point, is going to be. So it's just going to further build your confidence. And overall, with all of these tools, this is not something you can just do once and get results from. It's something you need to do consistently. And that's, again, why most people don't do them and why they're untapped. So if you're able to consistently do these, you guys will yield great results. Now, as far as how we're going to apply this visualization, it's very, very simple. Sitting down, visualizing whatever it is that you want to improve in. Is it a skill? Is it a situation? And seeing it in your mind with as much emotion and activating as many senses as you possibly can. So the more realistic you can make it be, meaning you're in that situation, you're hearing things, you're seeing everything, you're feeling those emotions that you would be feeling in that situation, the more effective that visualization is going to be. So it's really that simple. Obviously, if you really break it down, it's more complex than that, but don't try to get too caught up in the very fine details. Just start practicing, figuring it out. Again, I have more resources in the link down below if you really want to get into this. Tip number 3 is yoga. This is, again, one of my favorites, Untapped. I think this is great for stress management, recovery, learning how to control your breath, and then obviously you'll see some results from the flexibility or mobility aspect of doing yoga. But again, after a certain point, the flexibility and mobility is not really going to yield much results. I think a lot of this is going to be coming from the recovery, controlling your breath, especially with everything going on. All the miles that you're putting on your body, running, jumping all day, you have practices, you have film, you have school, you have all of these different things going on. Just taking 10, 20 minutes to yourself to just kind of work through certain ranges of motion, focus on your breath, kind of just let everything else that's going on in your life just be completely tuned out and just focus on yourself. I think this is a great way, especially when you're really focusing on your breath, to relax. This is going to bring down your heart rate. So this can certainly help you recover, especially if you guys are kind of high stress people. I think this is great. This kind of goes hand in hand with meditation, but if you don't like to just sit in the same spot and that's kind of tough for you, then I think yoga can be really beneficial because you're moving, again, focusing on your breath, trying to just be as present as you possibly can. This is going to yield a lot of good results for you guys. Now, as far as how we're going to apply it, there's millions of videos on YouTube that you guys can do. depending on what type of yoga you specifically want to do, more flexibility based, more relaxation based, more strength based, right? Just literally a simple Google search. You might try a couple videos, see what works for you, and then stick with that. So tool number 4 is improving your sleep habits. This is absolutely one of my favorite ones, and one that I do not think enough players, or really many players at all, truly focus on. If you guys are getting inadequate sleep, you're already at a disadvantage. Your focus is gonna be off, your mood's gonna be off, reaction time, your endurance, your strength, all of these different things are going to be lessened simply by just not sleeping enough. So if you can get adequate sleep, all of these things are going to be boosted up, as well as your ability to learn skills is going to be accelerated. So on that point, throughout the day, you guys are learning a bunch of different things, right? There's a million things being thrown at you, new information. You're just basically storing that in your short-term memory. Now, when we sleep, that's where we take all of those memories, consolidate them, and then store them for a later date. So if we're not getting adequate sleep, we're maybe getting half of those memories or information that we learned throughout the day consolidated and then stored for a future date. So if you're thinking about learning a new skill, this is the same process. If you're not getting sleep the night before, you're not getting sleep after, you're just not maximizing everything that you learned throughout the day. So if you want to speed up your learning, sleep is an absolute necessary tool. Now, in terms of how can we improve our sleep quality, some simple things like going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter if it's a weekday or a weekend. Trying to minimize light exposure before bed. All of these different things are things that are a little bit tedious. Most people don't want to do, but again, these are the little things that you can do that are actually going to yield pretty large results. Tool number 5 is meditation. This is something I'm sure you guys have all heard high-level athletes, whether it's in basketball or other sports, really preach about. Also something I've been trying to apply over the last couple of years in my own life as well. But meditation can be great for improving your focus, your attention, and overall just your ability to be in the present moment. And this is something I think a lot of athletes struggle with, is they're never really in the moment. They're worried about their last shot 5 minutes ago, or they're nervous about something 5 minutes from now. So they're really never in the moment, or really never present. And because of that, they're not making high quality decisions. They're not making the right play. And it's just a snowball effect, right? Because you're not in the moment, you mess up, and then you're thinking about how you just messed up. So then again, you're not in the present moment. Or you're worried about a shot you're gonna take 5 minutes from now, so you don't focus on the shot you're currently taking, right? So just being able to sit there, focus on your breath, right? There's a million different ways you can do meditation, but really just doing it consistently is a great way to just improve your focus and again, improve your ability to just be in the present moment. So how you guys can apply it, again, there's a million videos on YouTube. You guys can use the Calm app. I also have the resources on my resources tab for my shooting course, as well as my finishing course that's coming out. So again, you guys can tap into that, but there's really no excuse not to practice it. Consistency is going to beat duration, essentially. So if you guys can do it even for 2 minutes a day, really build up that consistency and then increase the duration of that, that's going to be really beneficial for you guys. So again, all of these resources are something that I think not enough players utilize. If you guys utilize them, you're going to immediately be ahead of the competition, I promise you, because not enough players are utilizing these tools. Something that if I wish I had the knowledge I have now, I would certainly be using these to the best of my ability. So again, you guys can find the resources linked below. You guys can find a lot of stuff on YouTube like you guys are now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Drop some other video ideas below. We're back on 2 videos a week now that we're back home. So appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.